friend that worked in the White House who was the whistleblower that literally like wore wires and like advised her to like keep the dress that Bill skeeted on. I was like, yeah, you should keep the dress. Don't wash it.
Yeah. The girls that get it, and the girls that don't.
My reason for this, is for one that you may share, possibly. I have a very low tolerance level for stupid bullshit.
Now, y'all thought y'all could get that past us. Welcome to the Dissect the BS podcast. I'm Uzo.
And I am RJ.
And today we are chopping up cheaters.
Not chopping up cheaters.
We are dissecting the inner psyche of these celebrity-ass men who insist on cheating on like their very hot wives. Yes. So we have 3 people in question. So of course, Adam Levine. I watched that video that you sent to get all the deets. Yes. We have Ime Udoka, right? And then also, I don't know if you saw headlines for this, but like, have you heard about the TryGuys? Does that sound familiar to you?
No, what's that?
Okay, so the TryGuys, they're a group of 4 guys. They used to work at BuzzFeed. They broke away from BuzzFeed a few years ago, and they have a YouTube channel now that has like over 7 million subscribers.
Oh, wow.
There's one guy, I think we have an, so they're mainly, so we wouldn't know about what they're doing.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking, I was like, all the math equations are going off in my head. I'm like,
it's kind of like, what does that mean?
I got it. I got it.
You know, we wouldn't know what's going on there, but they're very popular, right? Okay, from what I saw on YouTube, they were the girls with the W. I am screaming. Not this for the girls with the eye, because I know exactly what you meant. So
the girls that get it, and the girls that don't.
I'm screaming. I can't even. That's such a good explanation, though. Yeah, I'm gonna like take that from you. I'm definitely gonna
do it.
It's for the girls with the eye.
What's that?
So
no, I'm kidding.
So, anywho, super popular from like what I have researched on them. They're very wholesome, and the particular guy in question, his name is Ned, and Ned is known like literally in every compilation they compile like the different times he's been like my wife, I love my wife. So literally like his brand is like my wife, right? My wife. Right. They literally cut up like hundreds of videos where he's like, my wife, I love my wife. Wish my wife was here. My wife. For you to go and cheat on your wife. So apparently he cheated because, you know, YouTube channels that are that large are like whole businesses, right?
Right.
They hire multiple employees.
Right.
So he cheated on her with an employee. People have speculations of exactly who that employee is, but they haven't dropped the name yet. But yeah, he cheated on her with the employee. They went to some concert in New York, and then someone had videotaped them making out, right? And just kind of like reached in. The employee that he cheated on her with, it is very scandalous. The employee that he cheated on her with, I guess like she's also like she's engaged, right?
Oh,
so whoever like recorded this event sent the video, we're assuming, to his to the woman who he cheated with, to her fiance. And that's kind of how it got erupted. Like, hey, like, you know, like, was your fiance here? Okay, just to let you know, she's making out with Ned.
Wait, you know, hey, just passing by, saw your girl.
Messy, but I'm like, you can't be that famous doing that. So that's what's going on with that. Do you want to give us some insight on what's going on with Mr. Levine, his messy self?
I mean, okay, so you know, I try to keep up with the girls with an eye, although you know it's not my forte. But with that situation, you know, Adam and his wife, I don't want to, you know, like minute her to that, but you know, his Victoria's Secret model wife.
Yeah, I'm like, she's pretty established.
Yeah, she is. But I didn't even know he was married.
I don't know her name.
But and I don't know her name either.
I knew that he was married to an angel, but I was like, which one? Who?
I know she is sweet, but child. So he cheated on her with an Instagram model, you know, the girls. So what was, I guess, interesting about the whole process of the allegation, alleged, you know, Lee, is that it happened for about a year, and then it was, you know, kind of concluded by the girl, and then he recently hit her back up and was like, you know, because his wife is pregnant, he would want to name the child after her. And that prompted her to record a video outlining the situation, as well as highlighting that her friend, you know, that she sent these messages to exchange between her and Adam was going to go to the tabloids, and she wanted to get ahead of the story.
Yeah.
And she felt like she was manipulated. And you know, interestingly enough, though, more insight is Adam's wife, I think, made a comment like the woman should not be like reprimanded for the man's actions, which is fair. But I said this, and this is just my opinion on it, like what he did was wrong, you know, but her story is just not making sense to me. It's like either you're gonna know that you need to be a part of the code and like keep the ish under wraps, or you're going to know that you actively decided to do this. I mean, I don't really follow Adam since like Maroon 5 did songs about Jane.
They still, I was about to say, don't diminish them. They still out here making
music.
No,
they are, but you know, songs about Jane, I think it was, you know, a couple of other albums. I stopped after like Animals. That was
okay. No, okay, that's fair.
That was it. Yeah. I wasn't on the train anymore. So, you know, I wasn't keeping up after that. So to that point, like as someone who, you know, saw him in person and I'm sure actively follows this man that you are pursuing, you should be aware that he is married. There's no way that you don't know that. I personally like felt that her saying like, I believe everything that he told me. Like I would have felt more comfortable with her like owning that part and playing the part that she was aware of. And that was that this was a married man and that you all had, you know, engagements. Because my thing is like, because he alluded to naming the baby after you, you feel uncomfortable. I'm just like, I don't get it. It's not making sense to me. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God. So to dig deeper into that situation, okay, so if we're circling back to what his wife, the comments that she made saying that, you know, we need to blame the actions of the man. Right. I do agree for her, you know, for her, just specifically her. You need to blame your husband. That chick, she's trifling and like she will get her judgment day elsewhere because it's like, although like you're the least culpable because you're not married or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Okay, cool. But it's like, you know, right from wrong. You knew that he was married when you did whatever with him. It wasn't confirmed like what they actually did or what happened.
Childish 12-year-old messages.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, that wasn't confirmed, but it's like, okay, you're messy because you're screenshotting it to your homies. And I'm like, first of all, your homegirls with an I, they're messy because it's like, why are they trying to sell your messages to TMZ? I'm like, it's giving very much so Monica Lewinsky, Monica Lewinsky, her friend that worked in the White House, who was the whistleblower, that literally like wore wires and like advised her to like keep the dress that Bill skeeted on. I was like, yeah, you should keep the dress, don't wash it. Just to tell on this girl, like that's kind of, my eyebrow raised at that because I was like, you would like, I don't know anyone, which I guess I've never been put in that position, maybe knock on wood, but it's like for you to jump at the chance to like actively betray your friend to where she knows it's you. True. Like you don't care what's gonna happen. Like I can see people being devious, like ooh, in the night, to where it's like ooh, you don't know, it could be anyone. But it's like, girl, I know this was you, so you gonna catch the spade. Like, you're gonna get
Yeah.
beat up. Like, I have to beat you up.
I feel that. But I guess, like, I agree with everything you said. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, why are you not playing your part? Like, I'm confused. What questions are you asking? What advice do you need for this active pursuit that you are
Nothing.
on? Like, I'm confused.
Nothing. I
You
think
know what you're doing.
she was trying to be cute and she was like, oh, because from my understanding, she only forwarded the messages after he was saying that weird stuff about naming his child after her.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, girl, like I get the whole point of like her coming out. Honestly, I actually don't get that. I think I would have just let the friend do whatever and then
Mm-hmm.
like addressed it when it came out. So like you coming
Yeah.
out, I feel like at the end of the day, you were gonna come out and tell your story. So I wouldn't have been the
Absolutely.
one to initiate that. It wouldn't have been me. I would have let TMZ do whatever.
They
And
be
then like
busy.
if it was culpable, like if I had to make a
Get me
statement,
a
I would
bigger
have.
check.
Exactly. So I thought that whole thing was weird. I thought I don't know if she was garnering sympathy. In the video you sent me, it kind of seemed like she was just saying it. She wasn't acting like sad. I know she kept on saying like, "Oh, I was young," but like I think
Although it was a year and like a
yeah,
half
and she
ago.
said she was like 23. So it's like, honey, you're
Yeah.
still maybe that's why she did it. She's stupid.
Yeah.
Like she just doesn't get she's not old enough to understand like, hey,
Yeah.
no. So maybe I don't want to, but 20-year-olds and people in their early 20s are just it's a free for all.
Yeah.
So maybe if she has morals, it'll kick in in a
At
couple of
27.
years. Oh my goodness. But we also need to touch on Ime Udoka, who is married or engaged, been engaged for 12 years, which
Spiritual
is
union.
very ghetto. It's giving very much so like common law. Like if I die, you can't have my assets, and now I gotta fight your
Yeah.
family for the house I've been living in for 12 years. It's giving very much
Yeah.
so that.
Yeah.
Very much so ghetto. So
Yeah.
he's been with Nia Long. We all know Nia Long is fine. AF. They've been together for 12 years. They have a son together, right? Ime Udoka is the head coach. I want to say, don't give me the lion. If this is incorrect, y'all can leave me comments and let me know. But it's not fact check. I don't watch basketball. I don't care. But he is
valid.
yeah, it's like I don't know, but I believe he's the head coach for the Boston Celtics, right? So he's making millions. Oh no,
no, I didn't want to say
okay,
and then that be the closing statement. So I just wanted to get some visual cues. Like I don't know for sure.
You are leaving the falsifying of the information to me. You don't want to be culpable.
Allegedly.
I'm done. Not the co-host is not culpable. I'm screaming. So at the end, yeah, y'all can blame me because Lord knows I don't know. I really don't. But he plays, he doesn't play, child. Anywho,
he's involved in a sport.
He's involved with
as an
sport.
Executive.
But I know he's the head coach of some team. I want to say I'm like 80% sure it's the Celtics. He makes millions of dollars a year, right? He used to be a player, didn't really do that well in the league, transitioned into coaching. Nia got with him when he wasn't making that much when she was like the star. Now he's like out earning her a lot. Cool. So and he's pretty attractive too. Like he's cute.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy.
Yeah, I feel like that's important to state. But yeah, so with that being said, he had an internal affair with a woman who worked within the organization, which apparently is against the rules, which takes us back to the TryGuys. Ned had an affair with someone who worked, which is against the rules. Both of them got fired.
Yeah.
Because of that, because you're violating HR policy, right? Well, Ime didn't get fired. Ned got removed, like for real, for real. They're like, yeah, he's not associated with us. But Ime got suspended for like a year, right? Yeah. Because of this. So the woman was actually in charge of like scheduling things. Sometimes she would schedule Nia's flights. So she would work with her. And like, I don't know who this woman is. They haven't really released or confirmed who she is. But I guess I'm just confused at those two men in particular, Ime and Ned, because I'm like, why are you guys insisting on having sexual relations with people within your organization when it is against HR policy to where if you get caught, you will get in trouble as famous as you are, Ime is very handsome. You can literally be messing with anybody off the street, any IG model, any actual model, okay? Like the real classy girls, like anyone. Literally, you could
Not
talk
Miss
to
Campbell.
anyone else. Probably, Naomi don't got no sense. So probably, even Naomi low-key don't got no sense. So I wouldn't even be surprised. But like, what are your thoughts on that? I'm like, y'all can mess with anyone.
Yeah, I guess my thoughts are like a couple of things. So in regards to this specific like Ime and Nia situation, like the engagement is just a little confusing. I feel bad because I personally think that like I don't know, like when it comes to that structure of a family and like that being separated due to the actions of
Yeah.
people being people, it is a very unfortunate circumstance, which I think then causes like children to grow up in different households. Because like most of the time, the way the conversation is had with the children, I think it's sometimes, and I can't necessarily speak from experience exactly, but I think it comes from a place of like being selfish and
Yeah.
like not being true to like what is actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that like the results of that action has unfortunately impacted other people, but this is what the impact is. And I feel like the parents involved, like, especially when it comes to like I can say, I mean, I don't know, because like I don't know the girls with an I and what that looks like, but the girls with the W and the U, when it comes to like that kind of structure and familial bond
Yeah.
and that it's very unfortunate how that can affect the family,
Yeah.
but I think it also goes to like why women, especially, need to be swift with legal action. Like
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like truly, like if that is what you're doing, you should not have to spearhead that entirety by yourself.
Yeah.
Just for the purpose of guilt and a maternal instinct. And I'm not a mom, I'm not a woman, I can't speak to that, but
Mm-hmm.
I will say it doesn't need to fall apart. It should just work with the boundaries that you set now that you have been impacted in this way. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I personally think that that is the most just response,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that. But I guess where this situation specifically took a different turn, and I have a little bit of a different perspective,
Mm-hmm.
is because they're, a spiritual bonded couple where like they were living in different places to
Yeah.
begin with. She just moved, I think, 4 months ago, or within a year,
Oh
to
wow.
where he is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And moved a family there and all of that. But at the same time, like for all of this to happen, with the fact that it was happening before she was even there, it's just like one, I would love to know truly, like,
Mm-hmm.
what does that look like between the two of you? Because I mean, I could speak for like, myself as a person, if I was to be in that kind of situation, there's a
Mm-hmm.
physical aspect, there's an emotional aspect. There are so many things that I would want to know what does that look like,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of if we're dating in a relationship for some time or married. Those needs don't go away. And it's not like those titles add any other layers that I can't get from the actual physical space. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I wonder like what conversations are had there, because there's no way for that amount of time that I just would not be married,
Yeah.
and I think like for it to be followed with like they're going through, and they are spiritual and religious, and like a point is like that, I got it from talking about this, was
Mm-hmm.
like religion is a very interesting construct, like, and sometimes that's what guides people's life. I'm spiritual, I'm not necessarily religious, so
Yeah.
I don't have that bind, but like having been in a long-term relationship and that, coming to a different phase as I'm growing as an individual on my own and working through with someone, what's important is like how you communicate where you are.
Yeah.
Like if you have to be honest with yourself and know that that's an uncomfortable thing when it's involving someone else, including yourself as well.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing that, like, you sit with your thoughts at the end of the day. So like, why are we lying to ourselves? Like, and I just, it's like, no, am I not human? Am I, not, I'm not perfect, but I think it's important to give yourself that, no matter how scary the results are, whether it be because you're complacent, whether it be for emotional or financial attachment. Like, I don't want to lose my sanity because of that fear and irrational safety net that isn't really safe, because emotionally that warfare, and like, you're still sitting with those thoughts. So I do have a lot of questions about it. I mean, I feel more so for the children involved, because I think they're innocent, unfortunately, in every situation. And it's like, what does that look like? But like, we need to, empower women to be more proactive and like setting, okay, if this is what you want, like, bam. And I also think, side note, and this is for both women and men, marriage is not for everyone. Okay. Like, it's not, I personally, like, my views on marriage, like, and a little bit I've said about me as well. Like, having been in a long-term relationship and explored what companionship is, would that be the person that I would want to marry? Yes. But am I where I need to be as a person? And do I feel like everything else is aligned for that to happen? Absolutely not. So I'm not just going to do it just because I can't make that investment. And I'd be shooting myself and someone else in the foot. So I need to step away ultimately, versus just jump through because of the time or because of the feelings. Like, and I know that not everyone is there, but I'd be damned, like, if we got to be out here having pastoral counseling about you being led through the just wayward times of just, being committed. Like, no, you want to fuck around, that's okay, like, but you need to be honest about that. You need to vocalize that. And it's a hard conversation, but like, it needs to happen, and we're human, like, so that's not to say that there aren't times where, like, you need to do that introspection in yourself and make sure, but for it to be like, what, the number of years that it was for them, I'm just lost. I'm lost. So I don't really have a feeling, I guess. I'm just like, yeah.
No, I understand. There are definitely questions that need answers in this situation. Honestly, going back to your point regarding marriage, I feel like marriage is literally just like that protection that you have legally in regards to assets and certain powers that you have over what happens to your spouse and medical conditions and crises and things of that nature. I do not think marriage will change actual feelings one way or another. If you didn't mess with them before, if you loved them a lot before, it's not going to enhance or decrease with marriage at the end of the day. So I feel like, with that being said, for protection, I personally think we need to get married to these people, get these life insurance policies, and then define, because of course, ideally you would want to love and cherish whatever. But like you said, it's not for everyone. Like that's real rainbow. That's real happy sunshine. Like, that's real idealistic. Not to say, I'm sure it happens for some people like that. So I would never discredit people that are in happy marriages that are like love and all that stuff, and like, they just can't get sexually attracted, like everything is just like, everything is just lining
Disney.
up perfect. Disney, basically. I would never like come at that, but I do think for a lot of us, it's kind of like, okay, I like you enough to stay with you, I love you enough as a person, I care about your genuine well-being, let's get this set up. And then you can redefine the terms of your marriage. If you want to cheat or not, it wouldn't even be cheating at that point.
Exactly.
But like, it's just, we have this protection. What are our rules? Which it makes me think, though, because like, even going back to the three people that are cheater, pumpkin eaters, we have Nelson, Ime, and Adam. All three of these people, even though Nelson, or what's his name? Ned. His name is Ned. But even though Ned is like on YouTube. Like, hey, did we meet him?
I feel like this maybe is something we need to
was this
expand
someone
on
else that
another
we were
time.
talking about? I'm crying. Okay, so Ned, even though like he's a YouTube superstar, like he's pretty popular. They have 7 point something million followers, and they were super
Yeah, it's
popular
crazy.
on BuzzFeed. So there are a culture of people that are gonna be, I'm sure he's very rich, with that AdSense money. So there's a culture of people that are gonna look at him the same way that they would look at Adam Levine. It's the same popularity, just in basically I'm validating him within those three people.
Yeah,
very rich,
sure.
very popular, very high profile, right? You have men like this to where it's like you're doing these things to where I'm sure I would bet that like their wives don't care or they've accepted it.
Right.
Like I'm sure, because it's like even if you have people at like honestly, like speaking as a heterosexual cisgendered woman, I like cisgendered heterosexual men, right?
Yeah.
So with that being
Nobody's
said, it's like
allowed.
no. Can I tell? Okay, so I'm gonna say it anyway. So I was talking to this guy on like a dating app. He was also pansexual. And the thing about it was like he didn't tell me that until we were talking for a couple of weeks. And on top of that, he was also getting a little slack in his communication. Like I'll unmatch you after like a week or so. Like if you don't respond to me within like 3 days, I'm not talking to you anymore. So he was nearing his third day. I gave him my number. And then like over the weekend, he was like weird about the communication. He was just being weird. And I was like, I'm probably gonna block you anyway. But then he like hits me up at midnight and he was like, oh, like, I'm pansexual. I just wanted to let you know. And I was like, it's too many things going on. Like
right.
Not only I've never dated outside of my race, even though I would not mind, I'm open to it. It's just never happened for me. So like this is my first time like exploring that. And then you dropping that on me, I can't comprehend both. Like it has, like it's too much.
I feel that like, you gotta layer it.
That's my internalized situations I got to get past, and I'm aware of that. But I was like, you gotta go, boo. Like I wish you to. I didn't even say nothing. Bless you, bless you.
But those comments, girl.
No, you're fine. Oh.
I'm
screaming. So I say that to say I don't even know why was I talking about that?
Oh, because I said nobody's allowed and you were saying as a cisgender.
Oh, so you brought it up. So everyone, RJ did it. But don't count. I know I'm working through it. It's just I gotta take one thing at a time. It really has to be one thing. It's just, and not even to say it's just too much to comprehend because I have to get over the racial lines between you being, a different race than I am. That I got to get over that, and then it's like now let's talk about this pan shit. Like it's too much.
Yeah, this is a lot.
It has to be one or the other.
I agree. I'll close that jar because I just feel like it's like little critters jumping inside the jar, little crickets, and I just want to let them out.
Like, we'll visit you in the winter. Like
I will say, like, okay, so for interracial dating, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
but I do think like it's important to not enter a token relationship because I think that's good for society's understanding. If it works for you, it works for you. Don't broadcast your relationship because that is honestly annoying. And when it comes to, I guess, all of those other things, I don't know, because my aspect on sexuality, which I've expanded on before,
you would just
to reiterate,
is it pansexual?
I would say like I could see a woman and know that she's attractive. Am I attracted to her? Perhaps. Would I like to engage in relations with her? I've never been at that point consciously at the age where I've been active in my, pursuits intimately. When it comes to how I feel about men, I think men are gorgeous. I'm attracted to men. That's been my sexual preference. So it's like, could I potentially do it with a woman? I believe under the right circumstances where it felt, natural. Because I was attracted to someone that we both know.
We have to get into that story time.
That we do, which we'll expand on in a later time. But that was genuine. But it was also, I think that was in real time. And I never really asked the other person like what they thought in regards to my sexuality specifically, because I was more so looking from the perspective of our friendship.
Yeah.
But I wonder, just thinking from an empathetic standpoint, is that something that they thought about me? And in any way, I guess, of course, not really uncovering physical things, because I don't really know how I felt about that. I was the physical kind of guy that they went after. But when it came to that, that like interpersonal piece, I wonder when it came to what their thoughts were on my sexuality, if they ever thought about that at all, and if that conjured in their mind. But that was a genuine feeling that I had. I honestly was attracted to this girl. I thought she was super smart, super good looking. I'll stand on that at another time. But I'd say that because like I genuinely felt those feelings. It was conscious,
Yeah.
But I'm also someone, I'm not rigid. We in our minds like
We set
consciously,
up barriers.
exactly, we do that. So
mm-hmm.
I feel you. It's nothing wrong with what you said, because it makes complete sense. I'm aligned with it.
And I just need to like work through it, because of course I want to be like open. So I guess my main goal is like I never want to have like an internal block in my brain that would block me from something that's happy. Just because of this and that. So like I'm working on it. But my thing is, so going back to like the cheaters, these cheaters.
Circle. Yeah.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
So going back to these cheaters, like I brought that up because why did I bring it up? Why did we start talking about the pansec? Because I was okay. So I was okay.
Yeah.
I found it. So basically my point is like, these heterosexual Black men, speaking directly to Nia, they will have all the access in the world and be like in a mediocre position. Right? To where it's like, imagine someone of that caliber that's like that successful. We will really praise like any Black cis hetero man who has a job and apartment. And that man will think he has all the access to anybody that that he can lay his eyes on. So I know we only have a couple minutes left for this review, but do you have any other questions? Or why am I acting like I'm interviewing you, child?
I get the job, girl?
No?
Damn,
Yes, you are hired.
A couple of videos. I would think at this point.
You are hired. You get $1 million a video.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So this was dated on 9/28 of 2022.
Not holding me to it. Wait, what's going on?
So I will say, okay, for all my ladies out there, okay, because as a brown man, speaking specifically to my circa like early high school years and being that awkward guy who was navigating through all those points earlier, y'all need to kind of set up what you're looking for and truly analyze before y'all just be like arching certain kind of guys out, because that really could be the guy for you. If you open up and maybe, bypass some of those very like one-dimensional standards. Not that you can't have preferences, but when it comes to like, I don't understand why he's a D ending with an E bag. It's just like, well, girl, look at the kind of guy you're with. It would make sense. But I digress. We all love a pretty light-skinned boy with long hair and green eyes. But, to that point, men, like, we have to ensure that both heads are working properly and one is not leading in front of the other, because that other one got two counterparts that sometimes just be winning the battle. And we just need to be able to switch and process and listen and make smarter decisions and think through a decision and be able to present that and not be afraid that our egos are going to be scarred, or that the woman is going to maybe put her boundaries in place. Like, it's a partnership for a reason. So those are my thoughts.
Yes, I agree 100%. Especially as it comes to like, you guys should be happy. Like at the end of the day, if something that's stopping you from being happy, if you assess that, and if your only reason for you not doing that is because you're confused or like you don't know what other people will say, it's probably BS. And we are cutting that up on Dissect the BS. Like you really got, it's like,
Good
cut that mess out. Like if you're just worried about what someone's going to think or like, you know, how you're going to navigate through this world with that person, like you have so much time to figure that out. You don't have to do all of that at once. And of course, I will implore you guys to shop Essentially Uzo, www.essentiallyuzo.com. That is my affirmation mat based business. You know, I provide all types of like home and bathroom decor for our little Black girls with natural hair. We got anything from mats, hair clips. We're going to have towels, soap dispensers. Think about how you would decorate your bathroom.
That's great.
And then we'll move to the world.
Ooh, we love a good planet seed, honey. Plant the seed and watch it grow.
So we'll see you guys back next week on Dissect the BS. We will be breaking down chapters 5 through 12.
Yes.
Of I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy.
Tune in.
Yes. Okay, bye.
Bye.